came down to the dungeon this morning and it was already done. The traps did not go off, and none of my minions saw anything.
You mind if I ask a few questions?
Of course, Detective. Ask anything.
Who has access to the defiled temple besides you?
Only my trusted necromancer.
Good. Now, I couldn't help but notice. You have a state-of-the-art security system here. What could have disabled it?
I have no idea, Detective. I enchanted the runes of death myself.
You know, Mr. Lich, sometimes the cleverest crooks are the ones who understand security systems the best.
You don't think?
I don't know yet, sir, but I'd like to have a word with your necromancer. Maybe he can shed some light into this. Oh, and one more thing, Mr. Lich.
Let's get geared up.
As an investigator, you uncover devious plots and reveal dark secrets about your enemies. Your analytical mind focuses on finding the truth, and your sharp senses are on the lookout for clues to the next revelation. Starting at level 1, you are on the case. In your downtime, you can pursue a lead. You designate a subject, which can be a creature, object, or location, and you get a +1 bonus to any check you do to investigate the subject further, such as perception or lore checks. You can handle 2 subjects at the same time. If you grab a third, you will have to drop 1 case before starting the next one. You can also help your allies investigate. If an ally is trying to investigate a lead you are pursuing, you can use a reaction to give them your bonus to investigate, so you can fill in your allies in the case and everyone can cooperate on resolving it. Also at level 1, you can devise a stratagem.
Counter with cross to left cheek.
As an action, you can assess a creature you can see and devise a plan on how to strike. Roll a d20, and if you attack that creature this turn, you replace the attack roll with the stratagem roll. You also add your intelligence instead of your strength or dexterity, but only for the first attack roll you make. When you attack with intelligence, you also use your strategic strike,
Discombobulate.
adding an additional 1d6 precision damage to your attack. This damage increases as you level up, as your plans become more complex and effective. So at the start of combat, you can use 1 action to plan your strike, then move up to your opponent and strike them in their weak point, dealing massive damage. Also at level 1, you choose your methodology. Your studious mind has taken particular interest in one specific area. You can be an expert in alchemical sciences, specializing in poisons and strange chemicals in a crime scene. During your daily preparations, you can create tinctures that you can then turn into elixirs or alchemical tools, but they are very short-lived. Empiricism is the analysis of data. You can quickly analyze the scene, sniffing out anything that seems out of place. You get the "that's odd" feat, and you can now enjoy as your GM has to give you free clues. With forensic medicine, you are adept at analyzing the wounds of the living and the dead. Not only do you get the forensic acumen feat, you also get battle medicine, and your allies heal a bonus of half your level when you use it. On top of that, you can use battle medicine again in an hour rather than a day. Interrogation is the art of getting people to tell you what you want to know. During a conversation, like when you're trying to make an impression, you can pursue a lead over the course of that conversation rather than taking your time to think about it, like you do in real life. You can also make a pointed question, exposing the lies of your suspect. If they fail a will save, you get a bonus to your perception checks to catch their lies. At level 3, your ability to recall facts helps you in situations when you are not experienced. You can add your level to recall knowledge checks that you are not trained with, using your knowledge on other topics that might tie into the problem at hand. Also, every odd-numbered level, you get a skill feat. This goes on top of your regular skill feat progression, but they must be an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma skill. At level 5, your proficiency ranks for simple weapons, martial weapons, and unarmed attacks increases to expert, giving you an extra edge in combat. If you feel you need more damage, at level 7, you get weapon specialization. It's not all about brains after all, sometimes you must deliver justice yourself. Also at level 7, your perception increases to master, allowing you to discern in more detail what others fail to see. And at level 9, you also increase the bonus from your pursue a lead to +2. Also at level 9, you increase your fortitude saves and your class DC increases to expert. You got a hardy physique, one fit for an officer of the law. Maybe you should cut the donuts. At level 11, your will saves increase to master, and when you roll success, it's a critical success instead. Also, your deductive skills allow you to attempt tasks you would be unable to do otherwise. You can attempt any check that requires you to be trained in a skill, even if you're untrained in. You can attempt any checks that require you to be an expert in that skill, so long as you're trained in it. And you can attempt any check that requires you to be a master in that skill, so long as you're an expert in it. At level 13, your perception increases to legendary. You have a keen eye for things that look out of place, even details impossible for others to pick up. You also increase your armor proficiency to expert, so you can protect yourself from criminals and monsters better. At level 15, you gain greater weapon specialization, so you can fight crime even better than before. You also increase your reflex saves to master, and when you roll a success on a reflex save, you get a critical success instead. You are as nimble as your wits are sharp, and you can get away from dangerous situations easily. At level 17, your proficiency rank for will saves increases to legendary. When you roll a success in a will saving throw, you get a critical success. When you get a critical failure in a will save, you get a failure instead. When you roll a will save against the damaging effect, you take half damage. Finally, at level 19, your armor proficiency increases to master. You also become a master detective. Not only does your class proficiency increase to master, making you literally a master detective, but also, if you are pursuing the subject of a lead and you enter a new location that includes another clue towards solving the mystery, your GM informs you of the existence of the clue and its type, object, person, spell effect, or the like. When you find the clue, your GM informs you that you have done so, but if there are more clues to be found, you will have to find them yourself. Here are a few sample builds. Focus on intelligence, as you need to reason how the case comes together, followed by wisdom to assist your perceptive power.
Thank you all for coming. Now, I've been diligently piecing together this puzzle, and I believe I've cracked it.
Have you, detective?
You see, my keen eye couldn't help but notice something unusual about the traps in the scene, specifically the death wounds. Why were they left untouched?
Well, one would have assumed the thief possessed great skill, akin to a rogue, to navigate such perils.
True, but here's the thing. The runes were not disarmed. They remain intact, so this implies a level of arcane mastery far beyond of a mere rogue.
Flattery will get you nowhere, detective, especially when the accused isn't present to hear it.
Now here's the twist, Mr. Necromancer. You've served as a Lich's right hand for years, intimately familiar with the phylactery's location and the security system inside and out.
Are you implying I orchestrated this robbery, detective? Now have you know I was busy raiding the town with my skeletons?
Indeed you were. But what if, just hypothetically, you commanded a single skeleton, a discreet envoy, to slip away during the chaos and retrieve the phylactery?
That's preposterous.
You knew that only a living being would trigger the death runes, ensuring the temple's defenses wouldn't target your servant. You've been caught in your own web of deceit, Mr. Necromancer.